Hello, I now have in front of me written down the shadow, all the notes on the 6th and the 5th string from the 1st fret and up to the 8th fret. So you probably just notice that those dots that are here, this is 3, 5, 7, 9. So it's easier to know. Anyway, this is not for those that already know this, but for those that don't know this. So if you learn what is on the 6th and the 5th string, you will be able to know which shape to use to find that bar grip. So you can go through it from the 1st fret here. You have the F, but I need to say before, you have this one that is on my guitar is plastic. This is where you can pretend it is your finger, pointy finger that's there, and then you will place the E. So the E is actually there. Okay, so I will start now with showing you when you have this F on, when you are supposed to play the 6th string, you always have the shape of an E, and you put your finger over there on the 1st fret, all over. So that is the F. And the next one, move one up, then you have the 5th. And the next one will be a G. Yeah, you use the all of the strings, because this note is a G. Every time when you know that it's that. Okay, then you move on to the next one. Then you have the A, B. This one on the 4th fret will be the A, B. So you still use the E shape of that one and put on your finger. And the next one, we are now on the 5th fret, this 6th string on the 5th fret, that is an A. So we have an A. And then you have the BB. And then you have the B. On the 7th fret. And on the 8th fret, you have the C. It is C. On the 8th fret, the 6th string is the C. So then you can play everything. But now we move on to what is on the 5th. On the 5th here, you have something called the BB. Then you have to change the shape. And you have to forget about playing the 6th string. It's always like that when you have the shape of an A on the 3rd fret and you place your pointer finger, I don't know what it's called, and this finger almost out all over, but not on the sixth string. And you have the BB, and you do the same with the next one. That is a B, not the sixth string. It's the shape of an A, and then you move to the next one, then you will find the DB. Because you learn that you know that when you're with the same shape, you have the D on the 5th fret. And when you know that, then you will find, if you move one back, you will have the DB. From the 5th and one back will be DB. Because on the 5th, with the shape of an A, and not playing the 6th string, you have the D. And then you move one back, then you have the DB. Because the B shows that it's a half note lower. Okay, you are on the D. And then the next one on the 6th fret with the same position, it's called an EB. That is what the reason why that is an EB. It's because the next one is an E. So the B next to the E, if you move one back, that's the half note lower, so it's an EB. Okay, so then you are on the E, on the 7th. I'm not so very good at it, sorry. I'm just trying to inform. And then I learned that it's an F on the 8th with the A shape. And then you have the F on the 5th. So you must not use the 6th string. Okay, so that's how the system works with the shape of an A. You never play the 6th. Someone like to say that you can do that sometimes when it comes to the B, just to get the fifth bass on the B, but it's not what I do. But maybe some people think that's cool. Well, if you do that on the B, it will be like this. If you don't do it, it will be like this. So it will be like more bass. Okay, so then we go through on all the A-shaped bar chords. If we start with the first one that we have that on, it's the BB actually. So when you have that shape of the BB, that is on the 1st fret on the 5th string, that is called DB shape. Then you can get on that place, you can get the BB minor by making an A minor shape. to the next one where we have the B with the A shape, and you use the A minor shape, and you find the B minor. Just to understand that is a good stuff. So this is how it sounds like on the 4th fret with the A minor shape. Then you have a D, B minor. Yeah. And you have so on. You will find the D minor on the 5th. And then you will find the E, B minor. And then you will find the E minor. Yeah. And then you will find the F minor. Okay, so you can also play the F minor on the 1st fret. Well, when you have the shape of an A, the shape of an E, and all over the bar, but then you have the shape of an E, and then you must remember to just, sorry, it's a bit noisy, then you must remember to just move this long finger, and you do the same when you go to fifth, and take up your thumb, your long finger, then you will have fifth minor. Same with G, take it up, you have G minor. And then you have the A, B, and you take it up, you have A, B minor, and so on. So I don't know if you thought this was useful, and I just want to show you something that I learned. It's kind of when you, I like to use the A, but you can use any actually chord. That I'm going to point at when I use there is on the 5th fret. Is the 2nd dot. I use this one, and then I jump across one and I use this one, and then from the point of the A note I move one back and one down, and then I move across this one and play those two above. It's a bit hard to explain because it's a system actually. Well, I don't know quite how to explain it. You just have to look. Okay, so there is the A on 5th, the A note on 5th. So you use this one, and then you skip the next one, and then you use the one on the 7th fret, and then when you go to the next one, you look at where you put your finger at first on the A, and then you move one back and one down. Use that, and you skip the next, and then you take those two next, and then you do the same with the next one, the D string, You put this in, finger on this, and skip the next one, and then do this and this. Okay, so I'll show you how it will be. I know it's a bit hard to explain. I just wanted to show you what I learned. Okay, so you can move more into other stuff. Actually, if you want me to put something, just let me know. Thank you.